Hey everybody, let's talk about branding. I guarantee that this won't be the last time that I talk about branding on this channel, because not only is the subject matter so vast, it's also one of my favorite things to talk about. When I was going to school for visual communications, I emphasized in graphic design. And that led me down a path to learn more about branding and just how important it really is. Also, how complex it can be and how hard it is, because it's so much more than what people think. A lot of people mistake branding for logos and colors. That is just one little element of a much bigger thing. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I believe branding is one of the most important things you can do as a creator to reach your target demographic. So, I look at branding like this. Branding is visual and audible cues that make up a consumer experience with a product or service. Now, good branding is somebody who understands their target demographic. And the reason why is because they can resonate with their target demographic based upon the values and the morals of the demographic they are trying to reach. The way I describe values are, you look at their political ideas, you look at their religious ideas, you look at the type of apparel they like to wear, you look at the type of music they like to listen to, etc. These things are indicators that show what it is that they are interested in. And the interesting thing about what's happening nowadays in culture is that people want to align their values and their morals with a brand that shares those same values and morals. So in turn, what happens is these brands are now starting to create cultures, or if you would, tribes of people that associate themselves or want to be a part of this culture that the brand is providing for them. Now, as a creator, it gets really important that you start understanding how to reach your target demographic. But not only how to reach your target demographic, but to be able to brand yourself in a way that resonates your natural values with theirs as well. So something that can be very beneficial to you as a creator is to sit down and think about, what is it that I love culturally? What are some of the things that make up who I am as an individual? And then after you put those things together, start learning about how you can portray those values in a visual way. And that's where it gets kind of complicated, because you're trying to take these somewhat obscure ideas into something that's tangible. What I would recommend doing is, after you've sat down and you've put together these values, these ideas, that you look at the cultural things that make up the things you like. Start looking at history, start looking at music, album covers, start looking at the type of apparel people wear within that genre or within that demographic that you're trying to reach. And then you'll take some of those visual cues that resonate with what you feel, and you'll start applying those visual cues to the product that you are making yourself. One of the things that I learned as I was going through this process is that it is just as much about the intention as it is about the execution of things. So in art, there usually is an idea behind the art that is made. And sometimes the idea is more powerful than how it was executed in the image. It's just that the image is a vehicle for the idea. That's what you're trying to create. You want to be deliberate about what it is you're doing. You don't want it to be accidental. You want it to be intentional. So as you go through and you start learning about these foundational ideas of what make up who you are, you're going to start building these visual cues that signify those ideas, and then you're going to try and implement those things in a purposeful way. The thing about doing something intentionally is it allows it to become repeatable. When you're doing something accidental in the branding world, you might stumble into a culture of people who love what you do, but you may not understand why it's working. So if you're intentional about it, then you can understand why it's working, and you can repeat that as you start creating more and more content for those people. So I just want to leave you with this. Just keep in mind that this stuff is very complex. This is just a quick overview of some things that I think can help you. There's a reason why brands pay ad agencies or branding agencies tens of thousands, upwards to millions of dollars to create content for them that resonates with their target demographic. It's because it's really hard to do. But as you start learning more and more about branding and how to reach that target demographic and how to define your values, you'll start seeing it refine towards the demographic that you're trying to reach. And it will help you become more purposeful with what you do. I want you to be intentional, not accidental. Now, if you're looking to learn a little bit more about what I talked about today, I'd recommend checking out the book The Brand Gap by Marty Neumeier. Marty's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I think this book alone would be worth your time to help you start understanding how to take these ideas that you have and then turn them into actionable things, starting to market yourself. So yeah, if you get a chance, check that out. It's well worth the read. And if you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. So anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay passionate. Share some kindness. Thanks, guys.